Hello everyone. Today is our first day of the bootcamp and we are starting our bootcamp with this video. Today we will introduce ourselves with Python. What is Python? Python is a simple, well-structured, easy to read syntax, object-oriented, interpreted, high-level programming language. Now in this line, you know what is simple. Well-structured means it is the structure of a writing code in Python is very good. And easy to read syntax, that means its syntax is very easy to read. It's just like if you know English, then you can read the Python code very easily. And interpreted means it understands the code by itself. You will understand this a little later. High level means it is of higher level, that is an programming language. First of all, in order to understand what is high level programming language, you must know what is a programming language. So a human readable language used to give instructions to computers, written in various ways and compiled by using a compiler and then converted to machine understandable language to process the desired work is called a programming language. So Python is an example of a programming language and it is called a high level programming language because it can be understood by the humans. There are some programming language like assembly and machine code. Both assembly language and machine code are the low-level language. Why low-level? Low-level because machine code only represents zeros and ones, that is binary form, which is only understandable by the computer. For example, if I give you 0, 1, 0, 1, can you understand this thing? What I am going to say? This is the binary thing. Okay, this is a binary number which can be converted into decimal numbers or hexadecimal or octal. We will know about this in detail later on. For now, understand this, that you cannot understand that whether there is a number or a character or something else. That's why it is called so that's why machine code is a low-level language. And why assembly is a low-level language? Assembly is a low-level language because it provides one abstraction level on top of the machine code. For example, you can see this. This is an example of a assembly language code. As you can see, you cannot understand things properly. So that's why it is a low-level language. Okay. So high-level programming language are those which can be understood by the humans and which are compiled by the computer and converted into computer's own language, which computer understands, that is binary 0 and 1. Computer does not understand our language, that what we speak. Computer do not understand English. Computers do not understand Hindi and not any language that we speak. Computers only understand zeros and ones and the combinations of zeros and ones. Okay, so in order to have an interaction between us and the computers, to complete our task via the computers, we take the help of these programming languages. There are many programming languages in the world, but among all of them, Python is the most popular programming language currently. You might have heard of Java, C or C++. Those are also high-level programming languages. Although C and C++ are known as mid-level programming languages. So I hope that you have a good idea that what is a programming language, and we have introduced ourselves to Python. So now let's see history of Python. Everyone should know the history of Python before starting to learn the language. In brief, the programming language Python was conceived in the late 1980s and its implementation was started in December 1989 by Guido van Rossum at CWI in the Netherlands as a successor to ABC, capable of exception handling and interfacing with the Amoeba operating system. Van Rossum is Python's principal author, and his continuing central role in deciding the direction of Python is reflected in the title given to him by the Python community, Benevolent Dictator for Life (BDFL). However, Van Rossum stepped down as a leader on July 12, 2018. Python was named after the BBC TV show Monty Python's Flying Circus. So Guido van Rossum is known as the father of Python, and he was watching a BBC TV show named as Monty Python's Flying Circus, and thought of giving it the name to his programming language as Python. Despite being very new to the market, this programming language has gained too much of popularity due to its amazing features. Python. Why you should learn Python? Number 1, Python is easy to read and debug. Number 2, it helps us to write clean code. Number 3, it has an easy syntax. And number 4, many things can be done by writing fewer lines of code, whereas in other languages like Java or C++, you have to write more lines of code to do the same task. For example, you can see this is a C program of printing hello world. You see there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have to write 7 lines of code just to print hello world. But in Python, you can do it with just a single line of code. So I hope you have understand this with this example. Now your next question might be where Python is used. Python majorly is used in making games, making web apps, artificial intelligence, data science, and in many more places. Now we have introduced ourselves with Python. We know why we should learn Python and where Python is used. What is the history of Python? So now I think we should move on to set up Python in our computer, download it, and then get started with Python. What we are going to do is we will set up Python in our computer. So now let's go to our computer screen and open a browser. I'm opening Google Chrome, and here in the Google search for download Python, and then click on the first link. Here you can see www.python.org, this one. Then click here and the website opens up. And here if you are using Windows, then you click on this button, the download Python. Here the latest version for Windows is Python 3.10.2. Download this. Click here on the download button and it automatically downloads. Okay. And then if you don't have Windows and if you are using Linux or Unix or Mac OS, then you can see the option here looking for Python with a different OS, that is here Python for Linux or Unix, Mac OS other. You can click on this options and automatically changes for you and opens up. So download from there, and always download the latest Python release versions. Okay. And you know one thing, I had downloaded Python and installed it in my computer previously, but I had to uninstall it for you people so that you can understand and follow these steps accordingly with me and learn Python in a proper way. Anyways, let's go. So you can see it's downloading and it's downloaded. I hope you have downloaded it too with me. And so now it's time for installing Python. So click here and open it. A dialog box like this will open here. Since I'm in my Windows system, so I've downloaded for the Windows one. And then here, as you can see, the first option is install now and the second option is customize installation. If you want, you can click on install now, but if you want to go with me, then follow the steps I'm following. We will not use the install now option. We will do the customize installation. Okay. And here one most important thing is that do check this one, that add Python 3.10 to path. Do check this box, and make sure that both these boxes are checked. And now click on customize installation, and here make sure that all the boxes are checked, and then click on next. And then here click on the first box, that's install for all users. And here you can choose the path by clicking on browse, that where you want to install your Python, the install location, and then click on the install option. So now it will start installing. Give it some time, don't do anything. I will come back after it gets installed. So you can see it is almost installed in my computer, and then it automatically takes me to this page that setup was successful. We have to do nothing here now. This disable path length limit shows when you install Python in your computer first time. So leave it and just click on this close option. Okay, so we are done with the Python installation and downloading and setup everything. So now our next step is opening command prompt. If you are in Windows, then open your command prompt or Windows PowerShell, whatever you have. And if you are in a Linux or Unix, then open your shell or terminal. And here type Python -- version. Okay, yeah, and now you can see this Python version you have installed, and then you have to check if Python is properly installed or not. Type pip. If you are able to see this long, so many things after typing pip and hitting enter, then it's okay that Python is installed properly. So now type Python and hit enter, and now we will write here print, open bracket, then we will give inverted commas, write hello world, then close the bracket and hit enter. So this prints hello world. So this proves that Python is perfectly installed in our system and is working perfectly. So now type exit, open bracket and close bracket, and hit enter. We just came out of a Python, and now close the terminal. Okay, so congratulations, you have done your first Python program via the terminal. You have now learned how to print hello world. But this is not a good way to write your Python code, that is in the terminal. We will use a better way of writing our Python code, that is we will use Python files. So it's not always a good practice to write your code in the terminal and run it to get the output. Also, it doesn't save your file in the terminal. So we will create a Python file to save our code on our machine, and for that we will use a code editor or a IDE to compile our Python file having the source code and get the output. So you can use any code editor or IDE you like based on your requirements. You can use PyCharm. I personally love to use Visual Studio Code, and it's beginner friendly too. But since it's our first day, I hope many of you are familiar with the Visual Studio Code. So we'll start with Visual Studio Code as a code editor, and later on we will start using PyCharm. It's a great IDE for Python, for writing our Python code. So you can go to Google like this and search for Visual Studio Code download, and to download it from there, just download it and install it by clicking on next. It's pretty easy as you install other softwares. And then after that, open it up. I will provide you the link of downloading the Visual Studio Code in the description. And then open a folder, and here then create a folder named as Python Bootcamp and select it. Okay, and so now Visual Studio Code opens up with this folder. Now this is called the extension tab. Go here and search for the extension Python. Type Python in the search bar. Click on the first one, powered by Microsoft. Yeah, this one. Install it and reload the VS Code after installing the extension. Since I have already installed, it's showing me the two buttons, disable and uninstall. But when you install it for the first time, there will only one single install button there for you. After installation, it should show like this. Okay. And note that it's an extension, so no options like next buttons in a dialog box will appear before you. It will get installed automatically as you click on the install button. Okay. Let's create a Python file. We will do addition today. Okay, click here on the plus icon and type add.py. Okay, and hit enter. And now we have to select our Python interpreter. Okay, Control Shift P. Use this shortcut. and this opens up, and here select this interpreter, is Python 3.10 okay, this version of Python, this Python exe, which is here given as recommended. Select this one and hit enter. And now here in this Python file at .py we will write our Python code. Okay, so first we'll write a equals to 5, and then b equals to 7, then sum equals to a plus b, and then print bracket open sum and bracket close, like this. Okay, so now you might be having questions like what is a and what is b and what I'm writing all this. Wait for a while, we will understand everything, each and everything in detail. For now, let's run this. Let's save this file and then use this run code button. Click here, and so you can see this output coming like this. Yeah, 12. Why 12? What will be the output if you add 5 plus 7? 5 plus 7 equals to 12. So it has given us 12. Okay. Congratulations, you have learned how to add two numbers and print the value. So now I am explaining the code. Here A, B, and S are variables. We have assigned a value 5 to A and 7 to B. Then we have added the two numbers 5 and 7 and stored it into variable sum. Okay. Then we are printing the value of sum of the two variables A and B. Here print function is an inbuilt function used to print any values or names as output. Okay. For now you understand it like you have 3 bowls with you, and the first bowl contains some items in it, and we are mixing the items together in the third bowl and displaying the mixture. Okay. We will cover variables and data types and all other things in detail in our upcoming videos, so stay tuned. For now I hope you have taken the notes of it, and you will write blogs on it, and also don't forget to give credit as this video, copying the link of this video, and you're gonna take a screenshot now and tag me on socials, tag me on Twitter. So this was an introductory video. So we have done our first programs. We have learned how to print hello world with the help of terminal. We have learned how to install Python, how to use an code editor like Visual Studio Code and run our Python code. What is Python, where Python used. Okay, so for now learn this, and I hope you have taken notes. Revise the notes and hit the subscribe button and click on the bell icon so that you never miss any updates. Thanks for watching this video. See you in the next one.